Good morning, traders. Welcome to Trading Together. I'm Mel Gacee. Today is Thursday, April the 23rd. How is everybody doing today? We are having a great morning so far in the market, kind of a little bit of topsy-turvy up and down, but we'll jump into the charts here in just a minute. First, I want to say hi to everybody. If you're here this morning, would you drop your hi in the chat? This is a place that's meant to be a community of traders. We're going to learn. I'm going to take some trades in front of you for educational purposes. We'll take them live. If you choose to follow, you do that at your own risk. I'm not recommending anything, just showing you how I do it. But we'll take some trades if we get the right setups. We'll talk about the market. We'll do some analysis, and we'll just have a little fun and build some community here. Trading can be a lonely profession, that's for sure. And so, if you ever tried to talk to any of your family or friends about trading, you will probably witness their eyes glaze over as you speak. And it can be hard for anyone to understand what you're doing. So this is a place for community. We can talk to each other. And that is my whole goal here, to help traders of all levels to get profitable and help you all along your journey. All right. Looks like Guy is here. Good morning, Andrew. Sestatan, good morning. Gavilan, good morning. And Guy says you won't be invited back for family events. That's right. You're exactly right. All right. We're looking like we could be starting to get a bit of a round over here. I am thinking about puts. I'm not convinced yet. We've done a little bit of a climb. And so what happened here is now this is why it's really important to track overnight, guys. Last night we came down. I'll show you how far down we came. And if you don't track overnight, you would not have known that. And you would be thinking it's just another run up and grab a new all-time high day. And maybe it is, but something tells me there's a rug pull coming today. It doesn't have to be today. I don't have to be right. Don't trade on that. But something tells me there's a bit of a rug pull on its way. Like I said, it does not have to be today, but we have an overnight low of 704 on the SPY. Well, that's a good 80 points below us. That just happened overnight. That low has to get tested. It doesn't have to get tested today, but it does have to get tested. So just keep that in mind. That is looming there. We've also got some gap fills below us. We are sitting right at the new all-time high. We just came up to 71.44 on the SPX. Anybody know where our all-time high is at? 71.47. So we came within 3 points of the new all-time high. And then we got a little bit of a rejection here. So what are we going to do? We're going to pull back a little bit and then make another run for it? Or are we going to just hold out that carrot and dump it? Doesn't that sound like something a market maker would love to do? All right. If we took some puts this morning, I'd be looking at the 7-11 puts. We do have the MACD rolling over. However, we've been on a slow and steady climb for the last couple of hours, and this is not a hard drop yet. So this would be a little bit riskier. We are up over yesterday's high of day. We're up over the overnight high. Both of those things are bullish. All right, Dana is here. Howdy, Dana. Good to see you. Val, good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for saying hi, you guys. I sure appreciate it. I'm interested in a put here, but I'm very careful because we are right here at the all-time highs. Very, very careful. I don't know what they've got up their sleeve. They're not dumping it yet, but we do have a MACD rollover. We are sitting right now exactly 6 points low of our all-time high. There we go. There's a bit of a move. I'm 50-50 on this one, guys. I'm going to go ahead and try it here. I'm going to take a small position. I am in, punch it. I'm not going to go in for a large position. This is a little bit of a funky move that I don't love. What I'd like to see happen is a little break back down through this overnight high is the yellow line, high of day is the blue line. That's from yesterday, from last night. So the yellow line's from last night, the blue line's from yesterday. All right, this looks like GD Nico. Good morning. Do I call you Nico? Welcome, and thanks for saying hi. Drum Bum is here, my bro. My gut says the stocks and crypto markets are in a trap. Beware of the rug pull. I'm feeling it too, bro. Absolutely right there with you. All right, Nico saying yes. Welcome, Nico. All right, my little trade is just barely baby green. Let's see if we break down through this high of day. If we do, I'll jump out at a small profit probably. Again, I took a small trade. It's a little trappy. I'm with you, Drum Bum. It's feeling like we could get a rug pull here, but we're within just points of a new all-time high. All right, getting a bounce here at yesterday's high of day. All right, so again, I'm going to get, well, I'm going to have to wait now on this trade because now they're pushing it back up. So I'll have to wait a minute to see if this comes back down. But while we're doing that, I'm going to take a look with you at the index, the SPX, and I want to show you, first of all, where our daily is sitting, and then we'll go look at the overnight on the SPY or the ES, because I want you to see what they did in the overnight session. It's really important to track those overnight sessions on the futures or on the SPY. Those matter. All right, so here's our daily on the SPX. So I drew this line yesterday as a potential resistance line. We kind of bumped up against it here, here, and here. We came up through it yesterday. And of course, we're up through it today. Now, here is our all-time high sitting at 71.47. And this is why I was a little nervous about this put here because of this all-time high. They could just run up and tag that real quick. We're right here. We're sitting at 71.43 with the all-time high at 71.47. It's 4 points away. They can come up and tag that and keep going. So this put was a little on the riskier side. But that's where we're sitting right now. It looks a little toppy, although we are making in the last 2 days a couple of green candles. So that's bullish, but we still haven't beat the high yet. So that has to happen for us, obviously, for us to continue up. So we need to see what happens today. I'm watching this closely. If we beat this high and continue on up, I mean, the sky's the limit. We're in blue sky territory here at all-time highs. All right, let's take a look at the overnight. I want you to see what that looks like. It's a whole different story in the overnight. All right, look at this wick here. So let's go over the 4 parts of a candle. For those who might be newer traders, there are 4 parts to every single candle. The candle is this. It is the measurement of time. A candle can be measuring a day, an hour, a minute, a week, a month. A candle can measure anything. It's only defined by the time that it measures. This is a daily chart, so each candle here represents one day. The ES, these are the futures over the S&P 500. This runs all night. So this chart is going to look way different than the SPX that I just showed you. The SPX did not have this long lower wick. This long lower wick appears because the ES ran all night, and overnight, look how far down it came. 7,100, 7,104. That is 70 points below us. That happened last night. And if you don't track this, you're not aware of what's going on in the after hours, and you need to be aware, because these lows, it might have been after hours or pre-hours, whatever you want to call it. It will get tested. This low will be tested. You can count on it. Does it have to happen today? No, but if it did, we'd get a 70-point rug pull today. That could happen. That could absolutely happen. Doesn't have to happen today, but it will happen. This low will get tested. This is an untested low. When we see those occur in pre-market hours, post-market hours, we can know that we're going to test that in the regular trading hours at some point. Like I said, it doesn't have to be today, but it could be, and that would be quite the rug pull. As Drum Bum says, could be quite the rug pull if we were to drop down suddenly 70 points, right? But that's why it's really important to watch these overnight levels. That's why I mark them on my chart. So this yellow line is the overnight low, happened last night. This blue line is yesterday's low. This yellow line here is the overnight high. We've already beaten that. And this blue line here is yesterday's high, and we've already beaten that. So that is kind of a picture of what you don't necessarily see, and that's that overnight movement. So my advice, keep an eye on that. It'll give you an idea of where the market is, basically what the sentiment is in the market. All right. All right, David asking, do you think that the 7160, what we spoke about earlier, is happening? I don't see it yet, David. I really don't, but it could, all right? Not saying it can't, but I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced that we're going to continue up. We haven't hit the all-time high yet. We've gotten up to 44, 3 points away, and now we're getting a small rejection. All right. Crazy buildup. Yeah, but it's slow, David. We haven't gone very far. We're just barely above yesterday's close. We're 2 points above yesterday's close. So we really haven't gone very far. All right. Right now, making some little moves down. Nothing major. David, wonder why he came up with the number 7160 based on what? That's where he set the spread at, David. Why did he choose 7160? I don't know, but that is where he set the spread. I mean, as you know, David, you like to trade spreads. You probably got a real nice credit for that. So that's part of the reason, I'm sure. David, destroyed all my put options for the day on SPX. Yeah, the move up. Yeah, because that slow run, even though it doesn't go very far, it does certainly hit those options premiums pretty hard. All right, 71.41 on the SPX. 47 is the number to beat. Looking at our volume, it's heavier on the put side this morning. The heaviest volume right now is at the 710 strike for the puts, followed by the 708 strike on the puts, followed by the 710 strike on the calls, so there's another push right here, 71.45. Looks to me like they're trying to go for the high. It's 2 points away. A melt up. It is a melt up, David. You're exactly right. That's exactly what this is. Slow grind. Either one. You could call it either one. It's definitely a melt up, slow grind up. And that's all it's been doing we sort of got this push up at the open and then a drop, and then it's been pretty much moving up ever since. All right, guys saying we're in a channel top. The price came down to tag the previous daily high and bounced. I'm in it, but this SPY has been a beast and anything can happen. Yeah, I'm with you, guy. It's crazy. It's been very hard to trade. And yep, you're talking about this line right here, guy. The high of day from yesterday. When you said price came down to tag the previous daily high. That's this blue line right here. You're exactly right. Came down, tagged it, and bounced a little bit. Sitting right here. We're right here, guys. 71.46. Get the popcorn out. 71.47 is 1 point away. Tesla recovering a little bit. So Tesla reported earnings last night after the bell. They beat on their earnings. It was a beat. However, on the earnings call, this is a lot of times the most important part of the earnings is the call. That is where the CEO or the CFO gets on and talks about what we would call forward guidance, the idea of what are we doing as a company? What's the vision? What are we doing moving forward? So Elon got on there and said, I think he wants to spend 20 some odd billion. I don't even know on what he wants to, he's very active in turning Tesla around, changing it, rebranding it from a car company to a more of a robotics AI company. And he basically came out and said yesterday he wants to spend 20 plus billion on capital expenditures to do that. And investors didn't quite like that so much. And that's kind of been the story of the Mag 7 and their earnings lately. It's all been, all these great beats. The profits have been great, but all of these Mag 7 stocks are saying the same thing. Lots and lots of capital expenditures, like lots. And so at what point do these forward PE ratios start to matter to investors? Well, they're pretty high right now. And if you invested in the company just fundamentally, it would take at this point years for you to get your money back. Now, of course, valuations in the stock market, that's different. If you're trading the company and you're just trading these moves, that's different. But the actual valuations of the companies, they're very, very highly valued. And if you're a long-term investor, it's going to take you a long time to get your money back out. So there will be a bubble pop at some point, and we will start to see the cracks at the earnings. That's where we'll start to see when the AI bubble starts to crack. We're going to start seeing that around earnings. Will it be this earnings season? I don't know. Will it be next earnings season? I don't know. But I will say Tesla is, of course, the front runner because they start every earnings season for the Mag 7. They're the first ones. Next week, we'll get Apple and Amazon. I think the following week, we get Microsoft Meta. So over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll get all of the Mag 7 reporting. And if Tesla is an example, then we could worry a little bit about these valuations. So again, Tesla beat, but the investors weren't liking the big capital expenditures, or at least that's what the talking heads are saying. And could we start to see that bubble start to crack a little bit? It could happen. Also, bear in mind, I'm not a Debbie Downer, but bear in mind that we are in a midterm election year. And traditionally, historically, for stocks, that doesn't go so well, especially over the summer months. Now, sometimes those midterm elections can end the year nicely, but usually going into the middle of the year, we can tend to see some downward movements, right? So with all of Mag 7 starting to report, with this midterm election, with some of the labor and inflation and this Iran conflict and the price of oil, it's kind of making for a mix of a possible move down here coming up. So that's kind of what I've been waiting for, but they certainly know that, right? Everybody and their mother is calling a top here, right? Everybody is. And market makers know that, and they're going to play on that. They're going to take your money. That's their job. When you take a trade, your broker is on the other side of that trade 9 times out of 10, and they will be happy to take your money and push this thing higher, even in the face of absurd valuations. And it looks, you sit there and look at the chart and you say, who is buying here? Who is buying here? I don't know. It could be just pure manipulation, and they're just out there to take the money of those that are trying to call tops. So be careful with that. Be careful in that arena. Okay. All right. Yep. Anything can happen. That's right, Guy. All right. So here we are at 71.46. Still, they're not taking it higher just yet, but they're just holding out that carrot. It's like half a point away. Come on, guys. They're not doing anything here. All right. We do have oil coming up a little bit today. Sweet crude sitting at 93, it's kind of been where it's at. It's been climbing kind of slowly. Brent is at 102. So they're still up. All right, David, I had a put earlier, sold it at 55% loss. Now have a new put at 71.45. Good luck, David. It does not have to drop here. Like I said, these guys are on the other side of our trades trying to take our money. So let's see what we get here. Still sitting at 71.46. Have not broken this high yet. Once they break it, you'll see this candle, some large green candle, go whoosh, shooting up. If that's what they're going to do, if they're going to break that 71.47 level, they might do it with a big, fast green candle. All right, there's 71.47. I'm going to jump over to the SPX real quick. All right, we're just shy. The high right now is 47.0 and the all-time high is 47.5. So we're 50 cents away. And they're just playing cat and mouse here. That is what they're doing. All right, David was in it when we had bars down and we went down through the VWAP. Yeah, I'm with you, David. I get you. All right, guys saying I might add if the price gets to 712.3 due to confluence of the high and the channel top converging. Yep, I'm kind of with you there, Guy. The RSI is 76. Yeah, right now I got the RSI on the daily at 70. Oversold for sure, overbought on the daily. Saying when I got the put, yeah, I got you. All right, so let's take a look at our VIX. VIX has been behaving a little off lately. VIX is a little off. Got off its meds, I think. Here is our daily on the VIX. We're getting these upper spikes and getting pushed back down. You can see it. We came all the way up during this nice run up, and then we got the reversal in the stock market where we started running up in the stock market, running down on the VIX. We came all the way down through the 200, pushed up over it, and we've had a couple of little spikes. Today we had a spike. The high was up to 20. We saw that just a couple of minutes pre-market. I'll show that to you on the pre-market chart. It was odd. It was an odd pop there. Was it pre-market or right after the open? It might have been right after the open. But the VIX keeps getting knocked down. It keeps trying to pop up here and it keeps getting knocked down. Today, again, popped up to 20. So that's something else to be aware of. We're just not out of the woods yet with this VIX in this zone, right? We're not quite out of the woods. The VIX looks to me like it wants to give us a spring. So let me go back to the minute chart and I'll show you these funny pops that we saw. Here's one. Yeah, that's the pre-market one I was talking about. Look at that funny pop there. 9:14 Eastern, it gave us this pop up all the way up to 20.2. Now we did see a corresponding rise on the SPY pre-market, corresponding drop, but not to this level. This was a really big pop. And then we had another one here at 9:50, and that one popped up to 19.8. So it kind of feels like a little bit like the VIX is, I don't know, kind of jumpy, right? It's kind of like getting, I don't know, tweaking, right? So that's something to be aware of. We just have to know that the VIX is giving these odd little pops here. And if you look at the corresponding chart, so let's put the SPY down here. I guess I don't want to put the SPY on the tick, do I? Well, I guess we could. Let's go ahead. All right, so this one was sitting at, let me turn on my synchronized crosshairs. It is on, okay. I'm just not back far enough. All right, right there. So weird, right? You see the pop on the VIX here, right there, up above at 950. At the same time, we do get a drop on the SPY, but it's not severe or significant. And then let's look at the pre-market one. That was weird also. 914. Right here. So again, a little corresponding drop, but nothing. This is nothing compared to the severity of this spike. So something telling me the VIX is a little bit jumpy. Something wants to happen here. And remember, the VIX is the volatility index. It's trying to gauge the fear in the market. So when we get these radical spikes like this, it's telling us there's some kind of fear that's popping here. So just to be aware of that. It's a little odd. Okay, here's our high, finally. 71.47. Did we hit it yet? Not quite. Almost. Let's get back to, let's put the SPY back on down here. SPX, I mean. All right. All-time high incoming. There it is. Just hit it. Just hit it. All right, 71.81 on the ES. Up over yesterday's high of day, up over the overnight high. As David said, grinding up, just grinding up here. We are 10 points over our flat line. And when I say flat line, I mean the level that we closed at yesterday. So 10 points over that right now, after being down 70 points below it. So that's a big deal. All right. Guys saying, look at the 5 minutes, respecting the 9. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's turn this into a 5 minute. And let's put our 9 on here. Right there. Yeah, sure is. All the way up, you can see it. Here's the 9. That's this green line right here. And you can see that this whole climb has been over the 9. Yep. Good eye, guy. All right, go back to my 1 minute. I'm going to turn that 9 back off. I love the 9, but I get so many lines going on my chart. It gets hard to read. All right, let them move down here. VIX giving us a small pop here up to 18.9. All right, so we jumped up there, tagged the new all-time high by how much? 20 cents, guys. Our new all-time high is 20 cents higher. That's okay. That's all right. I'm just looking at the watch list over here. I call it my leaderboard. And Did we look at Tesla yet? I do 2 streams, so I forget what I cover in which stream. Let's take a look at Tesla here. So again, we talked about Tesla's earnings, but let's look at the chart. Tesla has not had a strong chart for a long time. 377.8. Thank you. Thank you, David. Tesla has not had a strong chart in a very long time. This is not a strong chart, right? Take a look. It made its all-time high over here at the end of the year, 12/22 of last year. And what has it done? Nothing but dump for 4 months. So it did not participate in the rally the same way the rest of the Mag 7 did. It got a few days push here, got a nice push there on the 15th of April. That's about it. And then we had earnings and then this gap down. So if we zoom in, you'll see the gap down was pretty good sized. So it closed at the 387 mark yesterday and opened at 375. That's a good gap down, decent gap. So when we look at Tesla, it's just, well, first of all, it's a little off from the rest of the Mag 7. It's just not performing the same way. But secondly, it's just not strong. I don't see strength on this chart. So let's see what it continues to do here, if it continues to drop down. One thing I like to look at is, it's called MAGS, the MAGS. This is an ETF that holds basically all of the Magnificent Seven. So you can see that it did participate in the rally. Obviously, it led the rally, and it pushed up. So this chart looks very much like the S&P 500, this same kind of parabolic jump here, this big move up, and then this kind of stall right here at the top. But look at the stall on the MAGS. And let me go back over to SPX and look at the stall here. They look a little different, don't they? Just a little bit. Also, our put is starting to come back a little bit here. I'm watching it. Keeping an eye out. Let's go to the daily. So watch the daily on the SPX. It sort of looks like it's trying to climb here, kind of. Whereas the MAGS is kind of looking like, it can't, or it's not yet. It's building a top here, just kind of holding on. So this here is trying to give us the look that it wants to make another climb. But the MAGS is kind of like, not so much, more sideways. This to me looks more like topping behavior, sideways topping behavior. This one looks a little bit like they're trying to say to us, they're trying to make us think we're going to get another push up. And maybe we do. It could absolutely happen. But the MAGS is looking just a little different. So let's look at the MAGS on the minute chart today. All right, here's our downward move that we're getting. Let's go back to the minute on the SPX. So same kind of downward move here. 1124. Yeah, we ran up a little bit farther on the SPY to hit that top and then pushed down just a little bit, not a lot. 7 bars down slowly, very slowly. David, you're exactly right. Super slow, because we hit 71.47. We're at 71.42, 5 points in 10 minutes. That's nothing. It's not doing much. Not doing too much. All right, I'm going to go back to my ES chart, see if I can see the volume. All right, getting a little volume push right here on this last candle. That could mean we try to push back up again. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to zoom out and look at the mags, kind of how they performed all day today and see. Looking a little bit different. We can see the similarities, but a little bit different from the SPX. So we do see the push and the drop sideways and then push round over. So we have the push, the drop, not really sideways, just went up and now looking a bit like a round over, possibly. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. Is it going to turn and make another high? Or is that it for today? Let's see. Our volume says we could make another trip back down to 710 on the SPY. We don't have to. We've already been there, but that's what volume is looking at. That's where the volume is sitting right now at 710. And I think last time I checked, I think that's where the put wall was sitting for Gamma as well. I'm just looking at Gamma here. All right, moving down again just a little bit. It's not breaking this high of day yet. It's trying to hold that. So let's see what we get here. This little blue line here, high of day. See if we can come down and break through it. $712 is the call wall right now for Gamma, meaning that's where dealers can sort of think of it as parking, right? That's where their hedge is at. That's where they're betting that we stay at or below 712. And then the put wall is at 710. This is SPY. So that's where the dealers are kind of parked, if that makes sense. All right, nice little move down. Still not green on my puts because they don't want to pay puts today. They have not paid puts for days. It's been ultra frustrating. I'm at a break even. There we go. About darn time. Come on, guys. Dump it. Dump it, dump it. And look at this. Do you see this drop? Do you know what my number says right now? It says 4%. Ridiculous. It's so annoying that they won't pay the puts. I'm taking my win here. I'm out. That was nice. Says I made, geez, not even 10%. This is ridiculous. I can't even tell you how frustrated I am with the premiums. Over the last few days, the put premiums are absolutely brutal. They are not paying. Any other day, a move like this would have gotten us solid 15%. But nope, not today. Whatever. Premiums suck lately. Yep. I don't know about calls because I haven't taken too many of them. I don't know if calls are paying, but puts are definitely not paying. All right. Come on, guys. Let's go. Drop it. Here we go. So that's my third or fourth trade of the day. All puts, all winners, but not big. 4, 7. That's what I've been making. And it's this the way they're paying the premiums, very, very frustrating. A drop like this should have paid really nicely. But they're just, I don't know. They got the throttle on today, that's for sure. And as Guy says, lately, because it's been over the last several days that I've noticed this. It's actually been, this is where it's been. It's been since we've hit the high. And everybody here is trying to call the top, and they know that. So they're just not paying puts. They're just not going to pay them. Very frustrating. But you know what? We're still getting them. We're still up today. So look at oil popped, just popped right now. It popped on this drop here. And that's the other thing to watch, guys. Usually I don't track oil, but of course with the Iran conflict, of course oil became a big, big problem. The price of oil became a big problem because oil runs the world. It really does run the world. I'm actually going to look at puts again here, guys. I'm not getting in just yet. They're expensive and they're not paying. So if you take any, just take small wins and small trades because they're expensive and they're just not paying very well. The VIX is at 19. Yeah, 19.16. Thank you, David. You are exactly right. We did get that little pop there. And I think VIX will come up and pop that 20 again, like we saw pre-market. I think it's going to do that. All right, I'm not in puts right now. I'm just watching. I'm going to see what we do here. Guy got 28%. Nicely done, Guy. You must have been holding longer than me. Because I got my little 7. That's all right. That's okay. All right, we are back negative, meaning we are lower than we closed yesterday. That's what whenever you see this red number, that's what it means, red or green. This is a comparison to the close of yesterday, okay? So right now we are down 1.75 points from the close of yesterday. And it'll look slightly different on every chart, right? So this is the futures, this is the SPX, and this is the SPY. Those will all look just a little bit different, but they really run in sync with each other. Green is green. Yep, you're exactly right, Guy. Green is green. Dana made 17. All right, Dana. Well, thanks for sharing that, and I'm really glad to hear that. Good to get a win like that. All right, looks like we want to lose this low here. I'm not in another put yet. Dan is here, holding overnight high. Looks bullish to me. Well, we'll see, Dan. I have a little bit of a bearish bias today, as I'm sure you probably know. And we certainly could run back up there and tag a new all-time high. We did it just a few minutes ago, right here, Dan, at 11:32 Eastern, 11:33 Eastern on the SPX. And then we reversed down off of it, but we haven't come far. So you are correct. If we hold this overnight high, if we hold this high of day from yesterday and start to trade back up over it, you are correct. That is bullish. Right now, we've lost it and it looks bearish to me. But as you know, anything could happen. Beating this bottom here. I'm very, very interested in a put, although this move is a little bit extended, so I've got to be careful. We haven't hit the VWAP, we haven't broken it. So, but we are losing this swing low right here. I see it, pivot point. Okay. Where do you see the pivot point, Dan? Just curious. VIX still popping up at 19.2. So we can see the VIX slowly climbing here. Remember, VIX is usually inverse to the market, measuring the anxiety, the fear of the market, specifically measures the S&P 500, 71.1. Yeah, right here. That's this current swing low right here. Yeah, so VIX measuring the anxiety of the market, telling us the anxiety is rising, fear is rising as the VIX rises. VIX is only up 1.5% today. Not much for the VIX. The VIX can go much higher and farther. Because remember, it's only usually sitting, 15, 20, somewhere in there. So just tiny moves can be a lot on the VIX. 71.32 on the SPX. You see this bottom. Look how clearly you can see it right here on the SPX. When I put my cursor right here, do you see it? Look at that bottom. Every single tick is holding right there. Let's see if it breaks. All right, Tesla holding on the drop. Tesla down 2%. Yeah, I'll look at Tesla in just a second. We are coming down here. Yep, holding that little bottom there. So far, I'm not taking this trade here. Tesla's at 379. Thank you, DT. All right, now we're hitting the VWAP. Down 6 points from yesterday's close. Where's Andrew? I need to hear him say got out too soon. Because that kept moving down a little bit after we got out of that put. But you know what? I'm okay with that 7%. That's fine with me. All right, nice jump here at the VWAP. I'm really glad I didn't take it. It felt a little trappy, didn't it, to you all? These little candles trying to hold on. Need to see it go below 71.30 before a real drop. 71, well, it's right here. 71.30 is right here, right at this bottom, and it's at the VWAP. So yeah, I would agree with you, David. 71.30 is exactly the same as the VWAP right here at 710 on the SPY, and I would agree with you. That's where it's got to go. Glad we did not take another put there. It's good to be patient sometimes. You know, what I like to say is 90% of trading is waiting, waiting, waiting. We wait for our trades to go in our direction. We wait to get into the trade. It's just waiting for triggers constantly. And, we get these fun, wild moves, and then we go back to waiting forever. And that's how it works. All right, push up here. Should we consider a call? We're sitting at 71.38. Our high all time is at 71.47. Is it going to run up there and try to grab a new call? Let's see what we do here at this high of day and this overnight high. Let's see what we do. We've got a nice push off of the VWAP here. Let's see if we push up through. If we push up through this overnight high, we might consider calls. But if we reject here, we could consider puts. The MACD did roll over, DT. You are exactly right. We've got a nice little green bar on this candle. No break of the high, guys. That's, as of right now, that's not bullish. We need to break that high. Okay. Big drop there on that candle. Big rejection off of the high of day from yesterday and the overnight high. That's a big rejection right there. Boom. Fake out to the upside. They like to do that. They like to do that. All right, guys, we are getting close to the end of the stream. How did that happen? How did that hour go by so quickly? That's because we're having so much fun here. We took a winning trade today. Wasn't huge, but I'm happy with it, 7%. I'm nice and bright green today in my account, and that's what matters, guys. These base hits, they add up. The key is you've got to keep your stops. You've got to keep your stops. So your base hits will add up. You will be profitable, but you got to get out. You cannot sit and hold these things to 70, 80, 90, 100% losers. You will blow up your account that way. Trust me, you will blow up your account that way. You've got to take your stops. So these little base hits will keep you profitable. They'll keep you going, but take your stops. That's my soapbox for today. As far as trading for the rest of the day, I really am feeling a bit of a rug pull coming. This was not that. It was a nice drop. I am feeling the rug pull. There's way more to go. We have way more below us. Like I said, 60 points below us is where we need to test. Does not have to happen today, but it could. We could get that rug pull. We could get that massive drop today. They could turn and push it right back up and give us an all-time high again. So what I'm looking for here as of right now for the next trade is a break to the upside, a break of this level here, which is the 711 level on the SPY, and looking at the overnight high and the high of day from yesterday. I want to see a break from that, a break of that to the upside, to trade to the upside. And I want to see a break of the VWAP to the downside. Right now, I'm going to avoid any trades. We're in a little bit of a trappy range, it feels like to me. I'm not going to take any trades inside of these two lines. I'm going to wait for a break to the upside or a break to the downside. That's my plan. Again, I've got my ear to the ground. I'm going to be watching these charts. I always watch, but I'm going to be watching these charts very closely today because I think a rug pull is coming. I think so. Don't trade on that, guys. Trade your charts, trade what's in front of you, watch your indicators, watch the MACD, watch the VWAP, watch your moving averages. That will tell you what we're doing. They'll always tell you the truth. Sometimes they're a little bit lagging and sometimes we miss a move, but it's well worth it. All right, guys. David's saying down big today. Have been taking my stops except for one bad trade today. I am sorry to hear that, DT, but I will say this. Congratulations on taking your stops. You will recover much more quickly when you take those stops. So great job there. All right. We will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. And thanks so much for joining, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. It's a Friday, so we'll be ready to enjoy our weekend coming up tomorrow. And the weather's getting so beautiful here. I'm getting spring fever, that's for sure. But we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. Thanks again. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.